to win the state championship in the long jump in female sports.
Right.
That shouldn't happen. You as the governor should step out and say no.
No, and I appreciate.
But like, would you do something like that? Would you say no men in female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree with you on that. So that's easy to call out, the unfairness of that. There's also a humility and a grace, that these poor people are more likely to commit suicide, have anxiety and depression. And the way that people talk down to vulnerable communities is an issue that I have a hard time with as well. So both things I can hold in my hand.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard today's edition of Human Events Daily here in Washington, D.C. Today is March 6, 2025, Anno Domini. You saw that clip right there from Governor Gavin Newsom talking with Charlie Kirk, saying that he opposes trans and women's sports, but also that there's a certain humility. There's a grace, if you will, with his like weird, like fake Jack Nicholson accent it's like, dude, clear your throat for the love of God. You got marbles in there. So you have these people that he's saying who experience suicidal tendencies, suicidal ideation, if they don't get their trans surgery, or as it's referred to, gender-affirming care. However, all of that was debunked in a study that no one seems to be talking about, so it falls to us, Human Events Daily, as usual, to talk about it. This is in the Oxford Journal of Sexual Medicine, examining gender-specific mental health risks after gender-affirming surgery, a national database survey. Results, and you need to hear this number. Leave it up on the screen, guys. From 107,583 patients, matched cohorts demonstrated that those undergoing surgery were at significantly higher risk for depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, and substance use disorders than those without the surgery. Males with the surgery showed a higher prevalence of depression, 25% versus 11%. Anxiety, 12% versus 2%. Females exhibited similar trends with elevated depression, 22% versus 14%. Anxiety, 10% versus 7%. Here we go. Feminizing individual. So when you have male to female transgender surgery, demonstrated a particularly high risk for depression, nearly at a rate of 1.783, and substance use disorders at 1.2. So that means almost double the risk of depression, almost double the risk of depression if you have this surgery. What are we doing to our children? What are we doing? People laugh about this stuff. You talk about suicides, you talk about teen suicides, you talk about all the suicides that are going on out there. What are we doing? All the doctors who knew about this need to be investigated. They need to have their licenses revoked. Any clinic, any survey out there, any center that's running this needs to be shut down immediately. President Trump, Bobby Kennedy, pull all the funding.
Because the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that